Hey, what's up, guys? This is Pedro. We're back with another episode, Hustle's Horizon. We have a great guest today, Mr. Paul Lawson with Lawson Plumbing and Patrick Plumbing Services.
Yes, sir.
I
How you
got
doing?
it. I'm
Yes,
good,
sir.
brother. How are
Yes,
you?
sir. How you doing, Bubba?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Thank you for being patient with us.
Oh no,
You
thank you
showed
for
up.
having me.
You showed up a little earlier. Well, you showed up on time, but we showed up late. James was getting a haircut. And
It's all
showed
right.
up a
He had to
little
get pretty.
Yeah, you gotta look good to work good. But we're back another episode. Thank you for coming out. And then I want to get to know you a little bit. I posted on Facebook, and a lot of people they tagged you too, and then you commented on it too.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey man, let's reach out to him and get him in the studio. But the way I like to do it, man, we'll talk a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your business, whatever you want to talk about that. But we'll
Okay.
start with your business. So Lawson Plumbing and then Patrick Plumbing Services.
Yes.
What's the difference? And because we're talking a little bit about it, but how is that working?
Okay. So Lawson's Plumbing
Mhm.
is DBA under Lawson's Contracting Services.
Okay.
We started that out because we were working for plumbers direct. We didn't want
Yeah.
to have a conflicting name. It's their customers, so kind of stays their customers. And we started out and we decided to go ahead and the contracting services was kind of confusing
Yeah.
to the customers. They thought we did more than that. Really, truthfully, they thought we did contracting. They didn't realize we were plumbers. So
Yeah.
kind of counterintuitive. So we started Lawson. Went ahead and did the DBA as Lawson's Plumbing.
Okay.
Just kind of established that clarity there.
Yeah.
And it's been great. We've been going on 6 years now.
Y'all been around for 6 years.
Going on 6 years.
Nice. And then before that, did you already work in plumbing or?
Well, ironically enough, I worked for Patrick Plumbing before.
Oh, Patrick Plumbing. I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you went off to start Lawson Plumbing.
Well, I worked for the supervisor from Patrick for a little while. He had his own company,
I got you.
and so I worked there for a couple of years. Helped him with a big project out over there off of 45th and Western.
Yeah.
And things just didn't work out over there, so I ended up. I had my master. I was sitting in my backyard.
Yeah,
It was in
yeah.
the middle of COVID, and I was like, "All right, well, screw it. I'm going to
Let's do
just
it."
go ahead and start my own business."
Yeah.
And I've been busy ever since.
Yeah.
I've been blessed.
I love bringing people in. A lot of people that I've talked to, they started their business during COVID. Because
Yeah.
COVID either took down businesses or it started a lot of new ones. How was it for you getting started during COVID? Like, what was the hardest part?
Well, the hardest part, really, to be honest with you, it was doing the work by myself.
Yeah.
I would say that was the hardest part. I was over at working on a job, and my sister stopped by, and she's like, "God bless, it's hot in here," and it's July, and,
Yeah.
and I'm underneath the house trying to hang pipe and put it all together with hold it at grade and put my strap in and keep the level from falling off the pipe while I'm
Yeah.
because you got to be dead on with that. So, but other than that, it was like I said, I was extremely blessed.
Yeah. How did you accommodate to the what was it, the mask and the you can't go into people's houses? Did that affect you at all?
I had to wear
Your
the
mask and stuff.
respirator mask when we went inside, but most of our work was either under the house or
got you.
outside.
Yeah.
So I was working a big Atmos project, coming out of 2020 through into 21.
Yeah.
So and a lot of the customers, really, to be fair, there wasn't a whole. There was only a handful.
Well,
of
we're in
people that-
Amarillo. Like people didn't care.
yeah, they didn't really throw a whole bunch of hype over it,
Yeah.
So it wasn't. If they said, "Hey, we want you to wear a mask," then
Yeah.
we would, okay, cool. We'll grab the mask and we'll put it on. So.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And then you start with Lawson, and then when does Patrick Plumbing come into?
Patrick just came into the picture.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, it
just
just came
recently?
into the picture. Yeah, we picked it up in January.
Nice. You acquired that company. They've been around for a long time, right?
Yeah, the plumbing and to be clear,
Yeah.
we didn't buy the entirety of Patrick Services.
Okay.
Because it's 3 separate companies. You have the electric company, the heating and air company,
Oh, okay.
and then you have the plumbing company.
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of people think that
It's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's one thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, but I bought the plumbing department, and it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
I bet that feels awesome. You used to work there, and now look
Yeah,
at you.
so-
You own that section.
Yeah,
That's
and,
cool.
We had some guys that in any acquisition, you're going to have people that just aren't comfortable.
Yeah.
They don't know the new owners coming in.
Yeah.
They disagree on policy or something, whatever it may be. So we lost a few guys,
Yeah.
and it's misfortunate.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been
good.
good.
How many people are under that company?
Right now we've got 13 guys working
13
for
guys.
us.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then with Lawson, same.
We got five.
Five.
Five
Now you
over
got
at
a total of
Lawson's.
18 now.
What's that?
Now it's 18.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you ever plan on like putting it all under like just one name?
Well, we've thought about that because two companies is two sets of books. It's double everything. So
QuickBooks.
but so we haven't quite figured out how we want to do that, if you will.
Yeah.
But to answer your question before, I don't think I did to circle back.
Yeah.
Patrick's does the all of the service. Water heater change outs, your drains backed up. You need your faucet worked on, valve changed out.
Really?
And they do some sewer projects. Mostly just service lines.
Yeah.
Lawson's were what separates the two brands, if you will.
Yeah.
Is Lawson's focuses on the bigger projects, the more complex drain repairs. We offer lining. We were the first company in Amarillo to bring.
What is that?
So it's called cure in place pipe.
Let me
CIPP.
guess. As you put in the pipe and then it builds it as you go. Kind of. I saw a video.
Yeah, everybody sees that. Everybody sees that video, and really, it's a cool system, but that's not the exact system that we have.
I got you.
This is a cures in place.
Okay.
So we have to go into the I'm sure you've heard stories of people like I had to replace all the sewer lines under my house, and it was tons of money. So this allows us to go in and rehabilitate that pipe without having to jackhammer up the floor.
Oh, okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. It all depends on the layout.
Yeah.
So there's some spots where you have a transition and you don't have a choice. The pipe goes that direction, and we have to access that line, and we can't get to it from the roof because we have to have the right size vent. We can't just go through an 1.25 inch vent with our equipment.
Yeah.
So, or a 2-inch vent. A 2-inch vent is not going to work either. So it's job specific, but it allows us to keep people from having to bust up the floor
and all that
and tunnel all that.
That's
that
horrible,
stuff out.
man. I've never had to do that, but I can't imagine cutting a freaking line through your whole house.
I've seen it done that when the first company I worked for, we went over and we were working on a remodel over there, and that's how they did what we call spot busting. So they don't saw cut the whole floor. They just bust a certain size hole here and another hole here, another hole here, leaving it in contact. So. And then you connect the ditches.
That's crazy.
Yeah, or connect the holes.
That sucks, man. And then do y'all? So when people think of plumbing, I think of like sewer lines and stuff. But you just mentioned like faucets, valves. Y'all work with all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do water, sewer, gas.
Okay.
We put
gas. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah. And that's that's on the residential and commercial side, and then we're also in the medical industry.
Okay.
Plumbers are the ones that put in the all of the medical stuff. Like your med gas.
Oh, really?
When you go to the dentist and you're getting your mouth cleaned out, when they're sucking all that stuff out. And
Yeah.
The plumbers are the reason they have that. You know what I mean? So we're tasked with protecting the health of the nation. So
let's go.
we're the frontline defense. You know what I mean?
We couldn't do without y'all.
Yeah. So we provide all the without the plumbers and the electricians and the HVAC guys, generally all trades, without a roof, you don't
We're protecting people.
You are.
Yeah, we are.
Think about it. We the doctors that go through and do all their training and all the schooling that they have to go to, when they actually get into the profession, all that stuff that they're using. Yeah. The trades have provided and enabled a cleaner environment when those operations are,
so true.
Working on people.
No, that's definitely true. And do y'all do more commercial or residential?
We do both.
But what do you get 50-50?
Right now we're about 70-30.
Commercial?
Yeah, 70s residential, 30% commercial.
And then what's like one of the biggest projects y'all have done that you can think of?
Man, Patrick's has done a ton of projects, but I don't feel like it's right to claim stuff that I did. Well, I mean, we got their history, but you
Yeah.
know, Patrick's done
Crazy stuff.
a lot of commercial projects. For us, the biggest commercial project that we've done, mm, we've landed a few, and
Yeah.
the contracts ended up canceled. We were actually going to do the travel center out there in Vega,
Oh, really?
and that ended up just falling through altogether.
That
So,
sucks how when that happens.
oh yeah, man, that was a lot of
You get all excited and you
yeah,
put
well,
all
'cause
that legwork.
well, there's a lot of exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of legwork that goes into getting the cost of your material and yada yada yada. So, but I'd have to say, and I don't know if I should feel pride or shame, but our biggest commercial project that we've done is the Auto Nation detail shop.
Auto Nation.
Yeah,
Over there by Sansi?
no, over here off of Ross.
Ross. Okay, on Ross
Yeah,
and
they put in a new detail shop over
got
there.
you.
And
That's
as far
good.
as commercial,
Yeah.
you know, well, we didn't just do that. We also did the all the gas repairs in that building. And I tell you what, that was a fun project.
Was it?
Yeah, it took a little while.
Yeah. I feel now that with Patrick, they have good branding. I do notice that because I see their trucks and stuff, and you say the name, and I was like, okay, I've seen it. So I feel like you acquiring that, it's gonna open up more doors, right? Now you're gonna be able to get to bigger projects and stuff.
Yeah.
How did you go? How does someone go about acquiring like that?
Well, it all depends on what they're trying to acquire.
It wasn't like private equity or anything like that, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
No.
Because in the roofing industry,
That would mean I'm rich, Bubba.
in the roofing industry, a firm will come in, they'll buy you, they'll buy Patrick, put them together, and then they fund it. Basically, it's nothing like that, right?
Right. No.
Stay local. Yeah.
No. No. I would never sell to
Private equity.
private equity, and it's because I get being profit driven, right? Like there's no point in being in business if you're not profit driven. I mean, you have to make a profit so you can not only cover your overhead and your labor, but you know there's training that goes into being a plumber. There's a massive amount of upkeep that goes into being a plumber with all the different equipment that we have. I mean, we have 4 excavators for crying out loud.
Yeah, dang.
You know, we got 2 SKs.
Yeah.
3 dump trailers.
Wow.
And 25 trucks.
Wow.
So we've got
Is that Patrick's or is that both?
that's all of them
25
combined.
company trucks?
Yeah.
Dang, that's a
We
big.
we're trying to get rid of a few trucks. We got more than we need.
Hey, let me know.
Yeah, we got a few more than we need. It's nice to have backups, but it's to the point now where, you know, it's in excess. So,
Yeah, that's a lot.
But there, you know, there's a lot of money that goes into keeping that. I don't know about you guys, but as far as us as a plumbing business, we have 5 different insurance, and now that we've got Patrick's, we have 10 different insurances, plus the insurance for the employees that we have to pay because you got your general liability, then you got your workman's comp, your unemployment,
and it's expensive
your auto.
too.
Oh yeah. Bubba, the auto was. I remember we were paying like I want to say it was like $11,000, right? Yeah. This was at Lawson's. We only had 4 trucks out on the road, and it was $11,000 a year for those trucks. When we went to renew, $33,000. Wow,
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, but that and the private equity, I get. Like I said, I get it. They're trying to make a profit. And they want to make a substantial profit. Yeah. And I think that's where I draw the line. You know, it's you're like we were talking about earlier. Your guys are your first. Yeah. And your customers are right after that. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to take care of your people, and you can't do that paying them pennies.
I feel like if you do it the right way, it can be good. But most instances where I've seen is like, especially in the roofing industry, they get bought out by private equity and it just goes downhill. Because these people don't care about your customers here, especially in Merlot. It's customer relationship based, you know? They're in New York, wherever they're at, they're like, hey, just money. So you can't relate as much with customers. You can't help them as much. And it's just a whole different thing. So I wouldn't recommend it. I don't want to say I'll never do it, but it has to be in the right way, basically. Yeah.
Well, look at it. If me and my wife chose not to have kids, right?
Yeah.
So we don't.
You don't have kids?
No, we don't. Oh, wow. We don't have children. Yeah. Our decision to not have children has enabled us to do things that some people aren't able to do. Yeah. But it also gives us the opportunity. We would like the guys to be able to take over those businesses.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Instead of private equity, they help build it. They put the blood, sweat, and tears into it. Yeah. You know, I mean, some of those guys at Patrick's have been there 15 years.
Oh wow.
You know, that's a long time.
That is a long time.
It really is. So, I felt like they deserve more of that opportunity than a private equity or something of that form.
And where are y'all located? Y'all's office?
Lawson's Plumbing is at 15401 FM 2590.
Okay.
It's right off of 2219, and
I don't know where roads, bro.
it's
Just over there.
all right. Well, maybe you know where your one of your competitors work. Price Roofing.
Okay, yeah.
We're right next door to Price Roofing.
I got you.
Right next door to them.
Yeah.
And those are a good group of guys too.
Yeah, they're cool.
Just they're next door to us. And,
Yeah.
they've always been kind to me. So.
Yeah.
But
and then Patrick is out there
right
too.
here by you, 1602 South Monroe.
I haven't seen their office. Have you seen it, James?
It's where Youngbloods is.
Yeah.
It's over there by Youngbloods.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So it's right here down the street.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all plan on keeping both places?
That's what we have in place for now.
Yeah.
Is both places because the Patrick's location really is an ideal location because most of our supply houses are
they're right here.
Right here,
Mm-hmm.
the guys have been coming here for years.
Yeah.
Really don't want to put them in I mean, sometimes things happen, but our goal is to keep them. Going back to Patrick's, I go over there every day. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, where did you get this entrepreneurship mindset, wanting to be a business owner and things like that?
Okay, all right. Well, you want to know the truth?
Yeah.
I had no intentions of being a business owner. No.
How did it fall in your lap, or what happened?
Well, I wanted to be a right-hand man. Because really, I didn't want to be in the field. You realize that at least in the companies around here, there wasn't really any opportunity to move up.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be the right-hand man for the guy that I was working for at the time.
Yeah.
That just his goals and my goals weren't the same. Growth.
Yeah.
All of that good stuff. It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
So that's where I wanted to be. And then another friend of mine said, "Hey, I know this person that has a business, and she'll make you 50% owner of it." And I'm like, "All right, cool.
Let's do it.
So let's try it." I have my master. The only reason I even got my master was to be a backup to my previous employer.
Yeah.
But so I decided, well, all right, cool. I'll go ahead and get my RMP, and I'll team up with her. And that was the worst decision I ever made. It cost me a lot of money.
Really?
What she did. Some of the things that she did was.
Yeah. Who was it? Let's call her out.
Nope.
No, I was kidding.
I'm not calling anybody out.
Let's get some clips. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, and man, there's a whole story to that.
Is there?
Let me just put it to you this way: she's a true example of if you don't want the answer, don't ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll say that.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in my backyard, like I said, it was in COVID, and I was upset. I just got screwed out of $16,000.
Yeah.
The guy that I was working for, I took my King Ranch pickup and my 6.4 diesel.
Yeah.
I don't know, give me grief about the 6.4s. I know they're not the greatest, but I took it and traded it in on a pickup. Bought a bed, sold my toys off.
Yeah.
Bought a bed, painted it, had it all put together. So that because the guy that I was working for, the truck, it was a red half-ton pickup, V6 with black fenders. You looked like a chuck in a truck when you rolled up. And I wanted to bring some professionalism to it, and it just
and look legit. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was steaming. I was a little upset, because I put my heart into trying to help him out, and
it didn't work out.
And it just didn't work.
Did you know this guy, or someone introduced you?
I worked with him over at Patrick's.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And at first, I always thought he was he got a bad.
This a little closer.
I always thought he got a bad rap at Patrick's.
Yeah.
After I got to know him a little better, and it just got to a point where money was not his strong suit, and as a result, loyalty didn't go with it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And then after that, you decided, hey.
I was sitting in my backyard.
Yeah.
Smoking a cigarette, like thinking about what the hell am I fixing to do? You know what I mean? And so I said, excuse my French, but fuck it. I'm gonna just all I gotta. So and I went and took the steps I needed. I had the truck. I didn't have any tools outside of my hand tools, power tools.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a freaking press. And
you just went for it.
I just did.
Yeah.
It's
scary, right?
It was.
Yeah.
It was because now it's all on me.
Yeah.
That truck that I bought.
Yeah.
I got to make that payment. That backyard I'm sitting in. I got to cover the mortgage on that. My wife was working, but still she she needs help with that. She can't cover all that by herself.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then what'd you do before you did any plumbing? Like, what's your background?
So when I was a kid, I started out throwing newspapers with my mom.
Yeah.
Right, my brothers did it, my sisters did it. We would go up to the Amarillo Globe News and we'd fold the newspapers, and if it was going to be a rainy day, we bagged them. If it was a wet yard, we bagged them.
Really?
And as I got older, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I went from job to job.
Yeah.
It was the restaurant work. And have you ever been in the restaurant industry? Worked in the restaurant industry?
I was a server.
So, Bubba, what did you think of it?
Honestly, I liked it. I just like talking to people.
Well, I was the cook.
Oh shit! Yeah, y'all don't get to see the y'all don't get to talk to people. Yeah, y'all get to see all the shitty stuff.
Yeah, that was. But
where'd you cook at?
I was a fry cook, so I was opening one of my jobs. I was the opening fry cook for Blue Sky on Western.
Oh, I like Blue Sky.
Yeah. That was pretty exciting. I got to be, I was like, all right, I'm one of the new guys that picked me to help them open up the restaurant.
When they first opened.
Yeah, I was cool. I was one of the opening fry cooks. Because I didn't work 24.
Yeah.
The entire
How long
time
ago was that?
Holy crap, man! How long ago was that? I want to say I was 19 at the time, somewhere there, 18, 19.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you did the restaurant thing, and then.
Yeah. Then my dad ended up needing some help. He had knee surgery. He needed help in Vegas, and so I was going to move up there to move in with him.
Las Vegas,
Nevada.
Nevada. Okay.
Yeah. So, me and my grandma were talking about, because the restaurant stuff, I didn't like it. I didn't like being in a building. I didn't like the grease. I didn't like cleaning out the freaking fryers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's like, hey, I can't afford to put you in college. So.
Did you want to go to college?
Well, to be honest with you, I wish I wanted to fly C-130s.
Really?
In the military.
Nice.
That's what I wanted to do.
And it didn't work out?
Life has a different way of taking you off what you really want to do. But yeah, I did the ROTC thing, but you got to have supportive parents for that sort of thing. You know what I mean? But so she's like, hey, next door neighbor is a master plumber. Why don't you see if he'll hire you? And I'm like, all right, bet. He gives me a job. And so my first 8 months in plumbing was delivering material.
Yeah.
I didn't actually start putting pipe in the ground until I got to Amarillo. And what's funny is I was selling steak, right? And I stopped in at Frank's Plumbing. And Frank Frank Senior or Frog is what we call him. He's walking by and he sees me selling steak. He goes, I don't want no steak, but do you want a job?
Oh, shit.
Actually, I think I will. I'm kind of tired of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
What, you're selling steak?
Steak.
Is that the ones with that little... The black packaged ones that they sell?
Yeah, man. What was the name of the company?
They're horrible.
Yo,
terrible.
Terrible.
It's like $40.
Yeah, for 12 ribeyes.
Well, I was young and I'm just making.
I've always wondered how that works.
Yeah. Oh, it just comes in these boxes.
Yeah.
And I never even saw the trucks unload. I just know that when I would come back in, there would be more meat in the freezer. But so I was doing that, and my favorite line was always, and I could sell some steak. I didn't do as good as the pregnant couple did. God, they sell their truck out sometimes 1 or 2 times a day, and the way that worked is like you were like you got the first case, it was like $175, and the more cases you sold, your price came down. So if you could sell 10 cases at $200 a case, by that 10 case you've come down to $145 or something like that, and it would increment. They would get it all the way down to $100 a case.
Wow!
And so you literally going out and knocking on people's doors. Yeah. Would you like some meat?
Yeah, I think I've seen it. Yeah. I've never bought it. Well, someone bought it and I tried it. It wasn't.
You
good.
don't look like you would buy the meat out of the back of a truck.
No. I'll buy tacos.
And even then, you're not going to buy frozen tacos out of the back of a truck.
No, hell no. That's cool, man. That's a good. I mean, you did this, like the restaurant, the sales, and then they brought you to there. You met Frank. Is that where you started?
Yeah. So while I was in Vegas, I did the plumbing. I worked at one company and. That didn't work out, so I did pool cleaning for a while, which is not you know, what they show in the movies is not what happens with pool boys. I'll tell you that.
Wait, what
was
movies?
disappointed.
Just kidding.
Like, dang it, I'm single. Why isn't it going that way? And then I got back into plumbing, and then when I got back to when I moved back from Vegas to Amarillo, I just took the first job I could take, and it was selling steak.
Yeah.
And then Frank gave me a job, and
How long were you there at Frank's?
I was at Frank's the first time a year and a half, and I want almost to say the second time a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I always think about this. At what age was that when you started the Frank's?
Let's see. I was drinking a lot, so it was 20, 21,
2021.
somewhere in there, 19, 20, right
Yeah.
around in there.
And then how long you been married?
Me and my wife have been together 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've
wow.
been married, what is that, 13 years.
Oh wow! Congratulations, man. That's
Yeah.
a long time.
It is.
That's good. What's the secret?
What's the secret?
Yeah.
Well, being fair, honest, and balanced with yourself.
Yeah.
So when you feel yourself starting to get upset, and then I can speak for myself personally.
Yeah.
I always ask myself, is she intentionally doing that?
Yeah.
And is it malicious?
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer to those questions, which 100% of the time is no,
Yeah.
then why are
Why are
you
you
mad?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and she's always been real good about being upfront and honest, and and knowing her, like being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, paying attention to yourself,
Yeah.
knowing when you're getting upset, when you're getting mad, or when you're depressed, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then owning you.
Yeah.
You know, we've had arguments, and I'm sure every couple has. And you know, I've heard a few guys like, "Yeah, we never argue."
Yeah. Bullshit.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So, but every time we've ever had an argument, I know her well enough to know she's not being either of those two things I mentioned.
Yeah.
And so then that means there's something internally that I have to process.
Yeah.
You know, all right, look, this is stemming from that, or hey, this is, and you know, trying to at least look at it from a third person's perspective. You know
That's
what
a
I mean?
good way to look at that. I didn't
Yeah.
think about that. What was it again? Is she intentionally doing it? And
Is she being intentional?
Intentional?
And is she being malicious?
malicious?
Because then that means you know, like, she didn't put the coffee on. We'll just use a stupid something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Let's just say she didn't put the coffee on. Usually I do that, but let's just use that example. So, and if I get up in the morning and I woke up because I'm in a bad mood because I had a bad dream or I had a bad day before,
Bad dream.
you know,
Yeah.
whatever it may be, they say what you go to bed with, you wake up with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I try not to go to bed thinking about negative
Yeah.
stuff. Right. So, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
You know. So if I wake up and I'm upset and why didn't the coffee get made, and I'm and we start arguing, it's like, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Did she, you know, I had to walk through those questions.
Yeah.
And I know it's stupid,
Yeah.
and sometimes I don't have to, but it's like, hold on a minute. You woke up in a bad mood.
Yeah.
You're the reason this started. She has no
She
responsibility.
didn't have a
in
bad
this.
intention, and she didn't want to.
Yeah, in fact, she's actually a victim here. You know, you owe her something at this point. You know,
Go make her some breakfast.
Yeah.
No, that's a good way to look at it. I feel like now, just even thinking what you just said, that's if you use that in your relationships, it'll I think it'll help.
Yeah,
because people don't really think about those things. Whenever we're talking earlier, before the podcast, we were talking about your employees.
Mhm.
What's something that you value, or that do you have any core values in your company?
Honesty.
Yeah, honesty. Okay.
Straight up, when you are at a customer's house, I want you to think like it's your house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're talking about selling the customer something, when it's a repair solution, I want you to think about it being your budget.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen companies go out and sell them bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, we had one that was in what was the name of that? Panhandle.
Yeah.
And the company that went out there tried to sell them a $68,000 repipe.
Wow.
All because they pulled mud back on a sewer line, on their sewer cable.
Yeah.
That definitely means if you pull mud, thumbs up. You pull mud back. They were right. There was something up, but they never even pulled a camera out.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
They're just trying to sell the job right there.
Yeah, and so they pulled measurements out, and she signed the
Contract?
the contract.
Yeah.
And she put a deposit down, and her one somehow, I mean, I don't want to just say how because, but she was put in contact with us.
Yeah.
And so we went over there and we did a second opinion. And first thing she said when my guys showed up, so y'all are pulling out a camera. They didn't even look
They
at
didn't
it
even
with a
do it,
camera.
yeah.
So long story short, it ended up being a root that had grown around the pipe and pushed it down and broke the fitting.
Yeah.
And so now she's not draining anymore.
That's all it was.
That's all it was. So I mean,
That's crazy.
I mean, it's still pretty nickel to get it fixed.
Yeah,
Don't get
yeah.
me wrong, especially given how long it was and where it was at, and you know, like I said, job specific
Yeah.
conditions. But you know, she spent a fraction of
what
the
she was
money
gonna spend.
that she had already signed up to spend, and she's and then to boot, the system was already PVC. I can only imagine what they would have done when they dug it up, and would they have been honest and said, "Hey, we made a mistake.
Yeah.
We're going to own it," or would they have just went ahead and did it anyway?
Yeah. I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's crazy.
So-
I've seen a show. I don't know what it was, but they set people up. Have you seen that? The
Yeah.
plumbers that will call. It's like a news. Is it a news station? They'll go camp out at a house.
Yeah, they'll do something like take a flex and they'll put
crack it or something.
yeah, where it's barely leaking and the
Yeah.
plumber's like, "Oh, you need a new water heater."
Yeah, have you seen that?
That's bullshit.
Crazy. That
And
is
if I ever
crazy.
catch one of my guys doing that, they're fired.
Yeah, that's
I
wild.
won't put up with that, you know, because time is a physical. You know, everything that you have, right, is a physical manifestation of your actions, the time that you've spent.
sure.
So if I come into your house and I'm just trying to reach as far into your pocket, that to me in my mind is stealing.
Yeah.
You know, there's a balance to what you charge,
Yeah.
and
It happens
and
in
how you
roofing too, man. Like that's
yeah,
that's when we
yeah.
get a bad rep.
Yeah.
Roofers, man.
all the out of town guys.
Yeah,
There's posts on Nextdoor and on Facebook. I'm sure you're well aware, being
Yeah.
in the roofing industry. Don't trust out of town contractors.
Yeah.
They see a storm come in, they chase that storm.
Yeah.
They come in, they do all their crap, they leave, and you forget about
See them
warranty.
again.
Yeah,
no,
you'll never see them again.
You hear about it all the time, but yeah, honesty. Any other ones?
Honesty, accountability, responsibility.
Yeah.
I guess those two kind of go hand in hand, and taking care of the family.
Family.
You know what I mean? Family is the whole reason for the season. It's the reason you get up.
Yeah.
It's the reason I get up.
So why?
We have to take care of our families. Otherwise, we'd all be running around. You know, we'd be down at the beach, or, you know, going doing. Then we wouldn't be doing all the stuff that we have to do every day.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and so we at both companies we try to balance that time. So, and we try to reward them as best we can for the time that they spend working for us. You know, so we offer, like, veterans, for example.
Yeah.
We give them paid Veterans Day off.
Oh, really nice.
Yeah. I mean, I figured, and I was one of the guys that works up there at Patrick's. In fact, there's two of them are combat vets.
Mm-hmm.
One of them has got shrapnel in his belly. His name's Corey. He's a big, tall fella.
Yeah.
And once I heard that story, it was like, man, I got to give something back. Cody, he's a combat vet.
Yeah.
You know, those guys went out and they put their lives on the line, and they could have. I mean, it doesn't matter what their MOS is. They could have died, been
Something could
severely
happen,
maimed, and the fact that they were even willing to do that, to me, deserves some kind of recognition.
Yeah, that says a lot about you that you do that, because most people don't do that, or people don't even think about it either.
Well, you have to think about your guys.
Yes,
I mean, I was a plumber. I've been a plumber in the field for better part of 2 decades, right?
Yeah.
Over 2 decades. And so, you know, like, for example, going out on call. You know, we give them something extra for going out on call. I'm not gonna.
I have a question on that, but go ahead.
Yeah, and then when we like when they want when it comes to Christmas, we give them Christmas Eve and Christmas Day paid off.
Yeah.
Paid.
Yeah.
The service industry, it's a little hard to do it off. So if they come in and work, they still get that additional pay on top of it. We do Thursdays and Fridays. We pay them for both of those days on Thanksgiving. You know, even if we run a skeleton crew, if they come in and they end up working, doesn't matter. They still get that pay on top
Extra
of the pay.
pay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to that, I have a question. Whenever someone calls a plumber, y'all go out there. There's a service fee charge, right?
Yes.
Just for going out there.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about this because in the roofing industry, we don't do that.
Mm.
What's y'all's thinking behind that?
Well, let's look at the difference between the two trades.
Yeah, let's do that.
Right.
Yeah.
For one, you've got 3 different systems, right?
Okay.
All of which are concealed. Every one of them. You know, we don't have X-ray vision. We can't see it. Whereas in the roofing industry, you can go up there and sometimes you can even look at it from the ground and assess the damage, and you get to see, you know, what do they call that? The weather
fascias,
edge, the weather edge. Is that what it's
Drip
called?
edge.
The drip edge.
Yep.
That's it. That's it. So, you know, so it makes sense from you guys, you know, because it's not something that requires an in-depth analysis.
I got you.
And then to boot, for me to get just a truck out there, and this is just going to be for any plumber that's worth his salt.
Yeah, because they all do it. Yeah.
They have to send a truck out.
Yeah.
By law, we are required to pay our employees anytime they are doing anything on our behalf.
Okay, yeah.
Period. We don't have a choice. And all of our guys are W-2 employees.
Yeah.
So we have to pay them.
That's true.
So right off the bat, there is a cost incurred
Just for going out there.
just for driving out there.
Yeah.
Then you've got the wear and tear on the truck, and then you've got the cost of the truck. Those trucks that we're running around in, those are $70,000 setups.
Yeah.
You know, you might be able to get some used ones loaded on down, a little lower on the pole, but okay, I got it cheaper. Now we're going back up in maintenance and mechanical issues because now we're subject to how it was treated previously.
Yeah,
previous to when So just for us to get a truck out there, and then the tools that come with it, then the guys' tools that come with it. I mean, it's a lot of money.
Now that I think about it, that kind of makes sense.
And then you factor in all the insurance that you have to pay for to cover the employees, all the benefits that you have to keep them to. I mean, and it's not just so that you can retain the employees. It's more than that. It's so that they can actually have a better quality of life. You know, and
they're protected too.
Yeah, and insurance has been kind of a sore spot at Patrick's, right? Yeah. Trying to get better insurance requires more money. Yeah. And you've got to be able to, your budget dictates what you get to buy. So if we send somebody out to do something for free, to look at something, it usually requires them doing some kind of work.
That's crazy because I have thought about it, and now that you explain it better, it makes sense. Sorry, I had a...
Yeah, we have to be able to cover that. And anybody that says they come out and do a free estimate, it's in that price. They're at that point, they're just rolling the dice. You know what I mean? They're rolling the dice and hope that they get the job because they built their time in on that for that.
That's true. No, it makes more sense now because I was thinking about it. I was like, man, we'll go out there, get on the roof. We send them like a photo report too. So we're up there taking pictures. I guess it doesn't go. We don't use as many tools, so it makes sense.
Yeah, but you're still doing work, and in your industry, if there's a need for it, one of the other things that's kind of nice about it is you have a lot of window shoppers. Yeah. People that call in and that's all they care about is price. They don't care if you're quality driven, if you care about the customer and what services you brought. All they care about is the bottom dollar. And so it kind of weeds those guys out. It's not just the bottom dollars, but the guys that are just curious of how much is this going to cost me. You do 10 of those in a week driving a truck that gets 8 miles to the gallon. Yeah. You're just on your fuel and labor alone, you're out $400 or $500 just on that. Yeah. For a week, it's actually more than that. But
yeah, that's a lot of money. And then what about you, Paul? Where did you grow up and where are you from?
So I was born in Wichita Falls. I lived a little bit in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. In fact, that's where I started going to elementary. And then we moved. My dad came back and got us and lived in it. And pretty much I lived in Amarillo. Really? With the exception of going to Vegas for 2 years, 3 years. I've been in Amarillo my whole life.
Really? Nice. Yeah. And then where'd you go to school?
Where'd I go to school? Yeah. Let's see. I started out in Dufrock Elementary in Baton Rouge. Yeah. And then went to Bushland Elementary when we moved back to Amarillo because technically we lived in Valley de Oro. Yeah. And so I went to Bushland and then I graduated high school, Tascosa.
Tascosa?
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
I say graduated. I did not graduate. I got my GED. But 2002 was my graduation.
2002. Nice. Yeah. Did you play sports?
I tried to.
Yeah, tried to.
Had a mother didn't want me playing sports, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. And then growing up, did you feel like you had a good childhood, or was it hard for you?
That's a tough question because it is all based on perspective. Yeah. There's a lot of valuable lessons that I learned about life growing up, especially now that I'm older. I'd say, you have to look back and reflect on those. Was it? Put it to you this way: I'm not very close with my parents.
Okay, you didn't have a close relationship.
No, not at all. Yeah. No, my dad made a lot of terrible decisions when I was younger. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and it's hard on my mom. My mom didn't, you know,
Yeah.
she. That's one of the benefits of getting older because you know you can kind of get some of their perspective and understand some of the whys,
Why it happened?
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, there's comes a point when you grow up, you can't blame your parents for what happened anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Bubba, you're a big boy.
You're big. Yeah. Yeah.
Put them big boy pants on and saddle up and go do what you got to do.
Exactly. That's what I was asking because a lot of times like people that entrepreneurs, business owners, you hear about their stories, and that's something they go through when they're little. So they want to get away from that the generational curse that they have going on. Me being Hispanic, it's kind of like that. Or parents, you know. So like you say, you have to be a big boy. You can't fall victim to what you grew up around. Right.
Right.
It's
Right.
up to you to make that change.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome that you were able to do that, right? But a lot of people get stuck in that
loop.
loop. They're like they victimize themselves.
Yep.
Well, I went through this. I didn't have a good life. Make up excuses, things like that. So,
Yeah, you have to, and even older as you get older, some of that psyche. You know, they say that your subconscious is developed from the time you're 18 months to 4 years old.
yeah,
That's like who you are is created, right?
Yeah.
Like your subconscious, what you think about yourself, how you view the world, that
Yeah.
sort of thing, like where your confidence comes from. But you have to understand when that stuff's coming through when you're an adult, and that's what I was saying. That third party perspective is this, you know, as my wife would put it. You know, she's got a degree in psychology. Is that the wounded child
Yeah.
coming out, or is
Yeah,
that the adult? You know what I mean? So. The adult has to keep that child in place.
yeah, that's crazy, man. It goes deep. James, can you fix that real quick? Right there. Yeah. That's crazy how that happens. But I'm glad you're doing great now, man. And what's the future look like for you? Like the next 5 years?
Next 5 years is to get our liner division going and strong.
What is that liner division?
So that's what I was talking about before, the cure in place.
The
pipe.
cure in place. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So getting our building on that department and being able to save our customers more money without having to do all the damage,
crappy
and,
stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's some excavation required. I'm
Yep.
not trying to mislead anybody, but we can drastically reduce that.
I got you. And then is this company with these companies? Is it something you want to keep here in Amarillo, or do you plan on expanding to other markets?
We are going to expand to other markets eventually. I mean, that's the plan.
Yeah.
But I want to see how things go here with the companies
What you're
here,
doing now.
and make sure that everything's in place for that.
That'd be cool. And how do people reach out to y'all, or because they're both plumbing, right? Lawson Plumbing and Patrick.
Yes.
If they call it, they go to the same number or the same person?
No, it's two
different
separate.
people? Okay.
We have they're entirely two separate companies.
I got you.
So we'll sub work out to Patrick's, and Patrick's will sub work out to Lawson's.
Okay.
But like I said, Lawson's is more focused on the bigger, more complicated projects,
Okay.
more time-consuming projects.
Yeah.
That was one of the problems that Patrick's had, and that's just the nature of the beast in plumbing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go over there to replace some drain line. Next thing you know, you've got 85 feet of pipe that you have to replace because it's cracked all the way down on the deal. So that allows us to come in and offer a more
Help each
affordable
other out.
solution for the customer.
Yeah.
And then our crews can take on those bigger jobs and keep the service department freed up, so that they can go. Somebody, grandma comes in and she says, "Hey, I need you to put a hose bib on for me." They can go over there and take care of that.
That's
for
cool.
them.
That's awesome, man. What markets are you thinking? Like Lubbock, maybe?
No, we want to go a little further than that.
Further?
We want to go a little further in
DFW?
South Texas.
Yeah.
We haven't decided. We haven't settled on a place yet,
Yeah.
but we've got family down there.
I got you.
My wife, I say we. My wife's got family down there.
Yeah.
So we'd like to move down there. Man, and Bubba, the lakes down there, you have choices
Lakes.
everywhere.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. That's awesome. What's something that you like to do for fun? Like whenever you're not working or hustling, what's some hobbies and things you like to do for fun?
we used to camp. We had to
Yeah.
sell our camper. We didn't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a shame to spend money on something that sit there and watch it sit.
Yeah.
And let somebody else take it and use
Yeah.
it. So, but we like to go camping. We like to travel. We like to go boating. We've got a ski boat.
Ski boat. Yeah, those are awesome.
I say ski boat. It's more of a deck boat.
A deck boat. Nice.
Yeah.
What lakes y'all go to?
Lake Meredith,
Meredith. It's
free.
closed, bro. It's right here and
and it's free.
it's free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they not all free?
No. So I don't know. I don't even know if you can put on. Can you put a boat on Greenbelt anymore?
I don't think so.
I don't think you can. Greenbelt's so low, but they used to charge you to get in, and you had to put the sticker on.
Oh, they
on the
did.
boat.
Yeah, I remember when I was little. Yeah, we
Uh-huh.
went over there.
Yeah. And
Have you been to
Meredith
like?
did too.
They did too.
Then they have it in years.
Have you been to the lakes down south, like you were talking about, like Possum Kingdom and all that?
I haven't been to Possum Kingdom. I always wanted to go see Devil's Gate. Or
Yeah.
What do they call that? Devil's Bridge or whatever, where the 2 points
Yeah.
meet.
What is it called? I don't remember what it's called.
You know, there's a city, an old city under that lake, right?
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I didn't know that. Do you know that, James? I'm gonna look into that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they had to get rid of the population to build that
Really?
that lake. Yeah, it's that reservoir. But yeah, we've been on the 2 lakes we've been on that we frequented the most is usually what we would do is we would go down south to Belton.
Yeah.
And we would visit her mom, and we would rent a slip for a week, and we'd bring our boat down, and then park our boat in the slip. And I tell you what, that was like, that was the best. That was best because one of the things that drawbacks to Meredith is you drop the boat in, you can only keep the water in during the boat in the water during the day, and then you got to pull it back out.
Take it out, yeah.
Pull it back in, take it back out. So over there at Belton, man, we could go down to the marina and go hang out at the boat at 11:30 at night if we wanted to, and go for a cruise.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And then I like to end it. I know you gotta go. It's 5:30. I want to respect your time. Sorry for being late again, bro. But I like to end the podcast. First, I want to thank you for coming in. But I like to end it. If you were to give some advice to somebody that wants to start their own business, not necessarily just in plumbing, it's in business. What's that advice you'd give them?
Well, make sure that you do your homework. You know what I mean? Decide what structure you want. You know, especially when it comes to like a formation of an LLC, S corporation, C corporation. You know, or if you want an incorporation, because some people want to partner up. I would make sure you do your research on that and have that in place, and also check for liabilities and make sure you shore that up. You know, look into your insurance and study the market.
The market, yeah.
Yeah, know the market.
Yeah.
You know, stay on one goal.
Yeah.
Don't switch it up. Don't
try to
go,
do too much.
Yeah, don't be like, I'm going to be a plumber. All right, now I'm going to go be a roofer. Now I'm going to go be an electrician. You'll never succeed.
Yeah.
So, stay with what you're good at. Once you've got that down, taken care of, then, if you want to, move forward.
That's cool. Well, I appreciate you coming in. The podcast. You started a podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What's
Texas
it called?
Trade Talks.
Texas Trade Talks.
Texas Trade Talks.
Where can people find it?
I find it on YouTube. We just got I do believe my wife has gotten the Facebook set up. We just started setting all this up.
You're talking about this weekend, right?
Yeah, and I'll after the cast, I'll show you some of that video if you want to see. Or heck, I can send it to you if that works.
Yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
Give me your thoughts.
Trades Talk.
Yeah, it's Texas Trade Talk. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I just like talking to people. So, but you get to dive more into that niche of trades, right?
Right, like
Yeah, I do more like business owners, entrepreneurs. I like that. I thought about doing that too. So it's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
We want to be able to bring guys in and here, just do all kinds of neat stuff.
Yeah.
Try to help homeowners out. I'm the kind of guy, if you can fix a dripping faucet or, you can fix a flapper on a toilet, you're not hurting my feelings. You know what
Right?
I mean?
Yeah,
it's not, but, if you need us to, we'll come out there for that. But we would also like to educate our customers so that they don't have to
Keep
spend
calling
money.
you out. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Paul. Well, thank you for coming in.
I appreciate it,
you. Maybe we can do this in a year or two where you've got other locations somewhere else. And
Oh, you bet.
that'll be awesome. I'll bring it down. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, man. All right, guys. Thank you for watching another episode. Remember, y'all can catch these episodes on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and our Facebook. And thank y'all for watching, liking, and sharing our videos. And we'll catch y'all next time. Thank y'all.